It's Sunday 21st of January 2018 and it's the beginning of the trading session, and we can see that as the markets opened, I had the gap trades open up, and we had several today. We had USD CHF, GBP USD, GBP NZD, USD CAD, AUD JPY, GBP AUD, Euro USD, USD JPY. Quite a few. Euro AUD, Euro NZD, and we're having most of them close 50. Half of the trades are closing straight away, and we can see from here. Yeah, so that's all today. So we've had half of the trade close for Euro USD, USD JPY, Euro AUD, Euro NZD, USD CHF. All these have just closed right now, and the rest are still running. And let's see what happens with them. GBP NZD is still in negative. It was much more, £156 in negative before, but it's gradually pulling down now. And so let's see what happens with the rest as we go through the night. Okay, so that was USD JPY. So we had a gap down, and price has now moved. If the gap down was 26 pips, price has now moved to cover the gap, and we can see it has actually covered the gap. But let's see if it continues all through today to hit our profit target. And we had GBP USD, again similar. We had a gap up in this case, 31 pips, and price is beginning to push down. I don't think we've hit 15 pips just yet, but let's see. GBP USD, also we had a gap up, and price has pushed down on GBP USD, but we probably have not quite got to 15 pips yet. We did get to 15 pips, and that's why Euro USD had closed half of the trade. Yes, so perfect. And did we have AUD USD? No AUD USD, no Euro JPY, no GBP JPY, GBP AUD. Yes, we had that entry, and it was a gap up, so a sell trade, GBP AUD, and that's kind of pushing back. Let's see if price over the night closes that gap for us completely. Euro AUD, that was a gap down, and it's closed half of the trade already. GBP NZD still pushing up and down there, so we expect to see this break to the downside. Euro AUD, let's zoom this. So the full gap hasn't closed just yet, but we will see. Euro NZD, again, this has closed half of the trade. We'll see how this progresses. NZD USD now. We had a gap down with AUD JPY, and it has completely closed the gap. AUD JPY, and I think 50% of the trade has closed, or not. Not yet. So we've not hit our 15 pips. We've not quite hit our 15 pips. Okay. And maybe I will close half of this now, because 0.7 close. And let's leave the other half and see how that progresses. Return USD CAD 22. See if that continues. USD CHF 26 pips, half of it has closed now. Let's see what happens to the rest when we wake up in the morning. Won't it be nice to wake up in the morning and see almost all the trades close in profit, and for us to cross the 12,000 mark. Okay, so that's it for this night, and let's see how things progress for the morning. All right, have a good evening. Cheers. Okay, it's 3 minutes past 6 in the morning now, and let's look at the gap trader trades and how things have progressed. GBP NZD is quite stubborn. It's not moving at all. However, I've still got it open. It's in profit now. And so what I've done, because it's not moving the way I expected to do, is I've actually closed half of that trade this morning. Still in profit. So either way, if it continues to go down, I'll still come up with some profit. Same with GBP USD and GBP AUD. But we can see how things have progressed now. Very good profit levels today, and the rest are still ongoing. So if we go back to USD JPY, we can see it moving gradually. GBP USD, yep, gradually, but it's doing it. Euro USD is moved, closed half of the trade, and now the stop loss is in profit. Stop loss is now below the entry point, which is about 12 pips. Let's see. So the entry is 1.2269 and the stop loss is 1.2256. So about 13 pips locked in profit. So it will not be, this trade will not be a loss. 100% profit this trade will be. AUD USD, no trade. Euro JPY, no trade. GBP JPY, no trade on this. GBP AUD, similar to GBP NZD, there is a downward push potentially to come down. Let's see how that progresses as the day progresses. Euro AUD, that has covered ground, is not actually hit the gap just yet, but half of that trade has closed, and let's see how that progresses. GBP NZD, we've just seen that. Euro NZD, again stop losses moved. Let's see how many pips. So entry was 1.6838, 6832, so 6 pips in profit now. 100% trade, that is. No trade on NZD, USD, AUD, JPY. We have covered the entire 17 pips, so half of that trade closed. USD CAD is still not committed, and you know what? Very little commitment from USD CAD. I will close half of that trade because it's not expected to move quickly. So whatever happens, my profit or the loss is reduced significantly. USD CHF, half of the trade has closed, and let's see as price continues. Okay. Alright, so that's it for review this morning. We currently have locked in here £681, and let's see if that will grow as the day progresses. Everything is in profit now. Okay, that's awesome. Cheers. Okay, good evening. Now let's see how the trades worked out this evening after an eventful day. If you remember, today we had several gap trades open, and I've closed all the trades now. We had some losses, but we had more profits than losses. Between yesterday night 10 p.m. and about 6 p.m. today, we had done 265 pips altogether and returned 8%, not close to 9% of the account, and that's just over £1,000 in profit on one of the accounts today. And this is the performance from the 1st of January to date. So up 15% already. And we can see some of those trades. So we can see the losses that we had today and the profits that we had. So today being, so between yesterday 21st of January, we can see it's all the gap trader trades. Okay, so let's look at the charts. USD JPY, we can see was a gap down, which opens up a buy opportunity, and that's what we saw. So this was the gap down here. It's gap down, and then the buy opportunity is up this way, because you can see. And so price pushed to the upside, and we closed in nice profits on that. GBP USD, half of the trade closed in profit. It closed the gap. We can see how many pips was that. So it was 31 pips gap, and we can see that half of the trade closed, and then GBP pushed to the upside, and we had half of the trade as a loss. Euro USD, a gap down, and we see price pushed to the downside, closed up all the gaps, almost 50 pips gap, closed it all up. GBP AUD, it was a 25 pip gap. It actually closed the gap, but then price pushed to the upside with a strong GBP. Euro AUD, a 44 pip gap, and price pushed to the downside, closed the gap, and gave us some nice profits. GBP NZD, a gap down, and it was just 21 pips. Price pushed to the downside, half of the trade closed, and the other half closed in as a loss. Euro NZD, massive gap. It was a 50 pip gap down. 50% of trade closed at 15 pips, and the rest carried on to a nice set of profits. AUD JPY was a gap down with a buy opportunity, 17.3 pips gap, pushed to the upside, half of the trade closed, and the remainder continued to a nice profit. USD CAD, 22.9 pips gap, closed the gap, but pushed to the downside, so half of the trade closed, and the other half was a loss. And USD CHF was a gap down with a buy opportunity, and we can see 26 pips. It closed the entire gap. A nice profitable trade. And that's it today on the gap trade opportunities. We finished off very nicely today, and we can see some of those profitable trades. See, Euro NZD hit the profit target, 331 pips in the second, and the remainder of 50%. Okay, don't forget that you can get your copy of the gap trader indicator from www.5talentstrader.com, and that's the page. You can either go through the products menu, go to indicators, and you can see 5TT gap indicator and various other indicators here. If you want an expert advisor, an auto trader system, you can also find them within the expert menu. And should you want any of your systems to be coded for you on MetaTrader Platform 4, we will be happy to help you out with that. As well, you can find some of the products down here, indicators and expert advisors, and you can explore more of those indicators and expert advisors here, where you find indicators or expert advisors. So I hope this helps you today. Until we see you again, have a good evening and excellent week of trading. Cheers.